Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Now, I made this video a while back because I figured I'm going to do some cooking videos and then fill them in when I don't have anything else to put on. Last week, the crud hit me. I was really sick. I did not get the video online, so I've been working on this video for like 2 weeks. It's finally done, and so thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient. Of course, this is the time of year when people just get sick and we can't do what we want to do. So, I made a fried chicken dinner and it turned out really, really good. So if you are new to cooking, let me know. I will do some more cooking videos for you. If you have a request to do something that you've never done before, if I know how to make it, I will make it and I will teach you how to do it. So let me know in the comments if you like more food videos, chicken videos, dog videos, whatever. And I'll try to do my best to give you what you ask for. As you can tell, I'm not quite there yet, but I promise the rest of the video I'm well, so I don't sound so hoarse. Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm gonna give you a quick video right now on how to make fried chicken. Every woman thinks that her fried chicken is the best, and every man thinks mom's fried chicken is the best. And my husband gave me a really good compliment. He said, it's almost as good as mom's. So I take that as a compliment. I'm going to show you what you need to do to make really crunchy, crispy fried chicken. And that's going to be our dinner tonight. So bring an appetite because we're going to eat really well. To start, I'm going to use some saltine crackers. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Where it came from. Alright, these are just saltine crackers. They're salted. That way I don't need as much salt. And a plastic Ziploc bag. I keep this Ziploc bag for preparing cracker crumbs. Squeeze all the air out. There we go. And there we go. I think that's good. So I already have some of my crumbs mixed up here, but I have extra now because I don't know that that's going to be enough. It might be. I'm going to add a little extra to make sure I don't run out. And the rest of this I'll put into a canister of crumbs and save. Now, I don't measure anything because I just don't. I go until it looks good or smells good and then I stop. So, alright, to this I'm going to add some onion powder. And I usually put a good amount of onion because we all like onion and garlic. Spill a little bit of onion. It's fine. It looks like I'm putting in a lot, but I'm really just shaking. I've got the holes open here, so it doesn't just pour out. I know I didn't add very much, but we like the spice. We want it to be strong. Oh, that's onion powder too. Here's my garlic. So again, we're just going to sprinkle. I don't put in as much garlic. It's a lot stronger spice, but we do like garlic. So, and then I have here some poultry seasoning. You can use any poultry seasoning you want. I'm just going to use, I haven't put any of this in lately. You can use an Italian spice mix. You can add some crushed chili peppers or chili flakes, a little crushed red chili flakes there. You get for like pizza toppings. Those are really good in here. That's all nicely mixed. Now, we're going to get an egg. because they kept killing the chickens. They say there's some bird flu going around, and they say, well, we kill all the chickens. It takes about 6 months for chickens to start laying eggs. So if you kill a poultry farm with, 5,000 chickens, it's going to take 6 months, assuming that you get 5,000 eggs to hatch to build your stock back up. Had a pork bones there. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to this egg. Okay, so here's my chicken. I almost always cook with boneless chicken, breast, boneless, skinless, as opposed to whole chicken. You can't eat a whole chicken. You gotta wash real quick here. I almost always just use boneless, skinless chicken because we can't eat a whole chicken. Sometimes it goes to waste. So this is what we do, and for my little family of 3, 2 of these is plenty. It may not seem like it, but by the time you get the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the salad, and everything else, there's always leftovers. So when there's a day that there isn't leftovers, I make more chicken. Give that to the dog. Although these are kind of small, so hopefully there'll be some. So I just cut these into bite-sized pieces. Now you can do this with a whole chicken. You can do this with a whole bunch of breasts or thighs or legs. It doesn't matter. Chicken is chicken. You could even use turkey. I have fried turkey before in the same manner, turkey breasts, and it turns out really good. So however you want to do it is fine, and whatever you want to use is fine. Turkey can be used almost for everything that chicken can be used for. My board spins, drives me nuts. Alright. So when I cook, I like to say a little prayer, asking God to bless the food and to have this food make our family healthy. This one's still a little frozen, which is okay, it makes it easier to cut. So my prayers go up to my family while I cook. And I think 2 out of that because that's a small piece. Alright, so that I'll set aside and give to the dog. Now comes the fun part. Let me see if I can get the camera set up in a way that we can see what's going on here before my hands get too gooey. Okay, here we go. So, put the knife in the sink. Alright, first thing we have to do is flour these. I used to put flour out and then roll each piece. It takes too long. That's how my mom used to do it. I love my mom. She taught me a lot about cooking. Mostly baking. She never really cooked with me, but I watched her make fried chicken, and that's how she did it. But a lot of this, we could eat a whole chicken, so a lot of the time she would get a whole chicken and cut it up. Which she never taught me how to do, sadly. But I've kind of sort of learned on my own. Another reason I don't do whole chicken is simply because I just never really learned. I've tried it a few times. I can do it. It's just not easy. Anyway, this works quicker. If you want to season your chicken with a little bit of salt and pepper, right now is the time. Actually, it was probably before I rolled it in flour. But, there's salt in the crackers. I can always add a little bit of salt here to the dry mix called a dredge, if I really want to. So, okay, that looks pretty well coated. Move my flour out of the way. Alright, now you go from wet to dry to the oil. So we have the flour on first. This will help the egg to stick because egg is a glue. It's a food glue. Don't try using it in anything that's not food. Just in case there's any kids watching. It's not that kind of glue. It only works with food. I know my son would try to do that. Alright, so first we dip it in the egg, and then we roll it along in the crackers. And notice I'm using two different hands. My left hand will always stay wet. My right hand is fairly dry because I try not to touch anything wet with the left hand. This stuff, the dry rub, if you don't use it, can go in. I put it in a Ziploc bag and I label it chicken, and then I use it for other things. I do this exact same setup for baked fried chicken. You put it in a toaster oven which has an air fry setting, or you can put it into your oven at 350 degrees. Okay, so our chicken is in the pan, the oil on the stove. It's time to start cooking. We use propane. Normally I would cook this on maybe medium-high for the first little bit to get everything hot, and then I tone it down to medium-low. On propane I usually, unless I'm boiling something, have only two dots that I use. Low and one above low. So for chicken like this, it's just one above low. It's a big pan, it'll spread out the heat a little bit better. Now, while this is cooking, it's time to cut the potatoes. Okay, now the rest of the egg here, nothing goes to waste. This is going to go to Kevin. I'm going to heat this up a little bit so it's not so raw, although he won't eat it raw. I don't know why. But he loves scrambled eggs, so I'm going to scramble it up really quick and pour it into his food. Okay, I've cut up the potatoes. You just peel them, and these are just russet potatoes. You peel them and you cut them up into squares. The smaller you cut them, the quicker they cook. So just cut them up any way you'd like. Put them in water, just enough water to cover them, and then put them under high heat. In my case it's medium heat, to boil, and you just let them boil until they become tender. I stick a fork in there to test it. Okay, our chicken has been cooking for a little bit now. One thing, you might want to just put the potatoes on first, but with propane it cooks so much hotter. I can start the chicken first, so they're done at the same time. So the ones in the center of my pan usually get nice and golden brown first. So I turn those over and make sure that they're brown, and then I check the ones on the edges. If they're not quite brown on the bottom, which not all of them will be, then obviously I just leave them as is. But most of these look like they're browning up pretty good here, and the kitchen just smells absolutely amazing, and you just gotta love that sound. Okay. So, this is beautifully browned. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to set it over here on a rack. Move the camera just a little bit here. I've got a paper towel. It's still hard to see. With some newspaper under it. You can use paper. I have a rack here to drain. You could use paper towel. I use newspaper because I have a lot of it. So it's And I check each piece, so I want to make sure it's nice and golden. And it's done. And this is really, really good chicken. The skin on this is very crispy and crunchy, the way it should be. I leave it over here. It doesn't get cold too quickly. And even fried chicken when cold isn't all that bad. This piece here I'm going to leave in a little longer. These on this edge here probably need to cook a little bit longer. And now to check the potatoes. I'm making salad while all this is going on. Oh good, the potatoes are getting nice and soft. Not quite done yet though. So, I'm going to make a slurry tonight. A slurry is just basically either milk or water mixed with flour to make our gravy. And then we're going to flavor it a little bit. There's various ways to do that, but we're just going to use some chicken broth and do a little seasoning or a little salt. So I put in like a scoop of flour into some water, and then just shake it. Get all the flour mixed up. There we go. Much better. Cooking is about seeing too, you know, you smell it, you look at it, you can taste it. I wouldn't recommend tasting it right now. It's a little hot. Alright. So I'm going to turn this off and let this cool down just a little bit before I pour it into a jar. I do reuse my oil for a few months and then I toss it, because I only fry with it maybe once or twice a month at that. I do clean it. But don't ever toss it down the drain. Put it in, let it cool and put it in one of those like plastic yogurt or Cool Whip or whatever plastic container that you get from the store. Pour it into that, put it in the trash can. Okay, potatoes are about done. I'm not going to move the camera because I need to get close to the stove. There's a lot of yummy bits in here. It makes good gravy. So you need to cook your gravy first. I should have stirred that up a little bit more. Raw flour has no flavor. And you can, in fact, I'll put a little bit of salt in here now to help it. It's turned off, by the way. I got rid of the oil. You can see it's thickening up right away because it's a nice thickener, but there we go. Alright, so it's on. And we want to, it's called deglazing. You just scrape all of those goody bits off the bottom of the pan. And it mixes in with the gravy. Now you do have to let this cook as is for a little bit, not too long. You can tell it's already getting brown. Some of that's from the browned bits of the chicken. And then we're going to let the gravy cook too, because that will thicken it. So there are various ways that you can do this. I made a bit more than I wanted, so the dog is going to probably get to eat some of the gravy. For some reason, nobody eats leftover mashed potatoes or gravy. If I have a lot of mashed potatoes, I will make potato pancakes, which is another video. Maybe next week. I don't know. This coming week is Hell Week because we have to prepare for the fair. And you've been watching us with the cabinet. It's not done by any means. We never did make our chicken run. Part of it has been so hot outside that I can't handle that much heat when it's 95, 100 degrees I just can't do it. Okay, set that there. Let's check on the potatoes. Okay, they're nice and soft now, so they're done. You don't want them too mushy, they don't taste very good. So, turn that off. Now I can add a little bit of chicken stock for flavor. I'm also going to add a little bit of potato water. Also adds flavor. So now we just want to stir this up. I may not add, well, I think I can add some chicken stock to it. If you have chicken stock, I usually end up buying, and I opened a bottle of it, so now I've got to use it. But if you use potato water, a lot of times I'll put like Italian seasoning in here, and then I'll mimic the flavor of the chicken. So the garlic powder, the onion powder, maybe even some poultry seasoning. Once we get to this stage, you can actually taste the gravy. Get another spoon. And then season it if you like, however you like. I usually put a bit more salt. Gravy, when it's hot, is thin. It thickens up as soon as you take it off the fire. So that's pretty thick yet. I don't like it really runny. I don't like it really thick. But I do know that it's going to need a little bit more flavor. So I'm going to add some stock, and then I'm going to let it cook down, because when you cook stuff down, if it's really runny and you let it cook down, it adds flavor. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let that cook down, because now it's pretty runny. And I want it to have a lot of flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and get these mashed. Now again, I don't measure anything, but I drain the potatoes, and then I pour milk in there, and you can pour just a little bit of milk. In fact, let's do some of that. We can see it. My mom never measured, so I just kind of learned to eyeball it. And you can always taste it. And if you need to add more butter or milk, you can do so. And my trusty potato masher. If you have, my mom always used a mixer, handheld mixer. She whipped those potatoes into shape. She made a lot more. So, and it doesn't look like much, but if I don't have any leftover potatoes, I will be happy. Just a little bit, the dog will be happy. Alright, we'll put that on to keep warm. Let's check on our gravy. Okay, our gravy is getting there. It's now it's a rich brown color, and it's thickened up a little bit for tasting. That's good gravy. It turned out really well. Sometimes my gravy doesn't turn out as well as I'd like. I just need to thicken this up a little bit, because it's still a little runny. It'll thicken up when you pour it onto your mashed potatoes, but it's still a little bit runny for my taste. Now for this. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's very crispy, crunchy. It's perfectly cooked on the inside. Look at that. It's just like the perfect fried chicken here. You get a burst of flavor when you bite into that. And it's moist. And it's crunchy on the outside, and it's moist on the inside. It's like the perfect piece of fried chicken right there. Okay, so now this is our dinner. We have our chicken, our mashed potatoes, and gravy, along with a fresh garden salad. And this is kind of a typical dinner. Sometimes I'll make extra vegetables to put on the plate, frozen peas or beans or something, whatever I feel like. But we just needed a light meal tonight, so this is good. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed fried chicken. Um, it's not always the easiest thing to make, but if you practice, you'll get better at it, and you'll start to learn the nuances of frying. But thank you all for watching, and hopefully we will see you again next week.